you really think this was a made-up moon landing in '69 or whatever? Like, what are you getting out of this?
I just don't know what would be the point. Who's benefiting? Like, why would they lie about the shape?
He was a super anti-vax. He was like the only guy.
Super anti-vax, and now he's like an Israelite as well.
I can't help but look at the majority of them, even when they're my friends, as just so stupid, just like extraordinarily stupid.
You mean accurately?
People.
Yeah, you can't look
you're
at
like, God, you're so fucking.
It's hard for me not
dumb.
to see this. I think flat earthers. I don't want that to stop either, because that's fun.
That is one of the best.
Yeah, that's one of the best. And also, like when you're yelling at them, it's almost like yelling at retarded kids.
Yeah,
it's just a shape. Like who's making money on that? What's the?
But what do you get out of it being flat?
100%. Cheers.
They didn't take away Kanye's money when he said that slavery was a choice.
No.
They didn't. They were like, you're like, when he said that, you're probably like, this is probably going to keep going. Mm-hmm. Like when Kyrie was like, I'm a flat earther, you're like, he's not going to figure it out tomorrow.
He's a flat earther.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? He had another one. Oh, he was a super anti-vax. He was like the only guy.
Super anti-vax, and now he's like an Israelite as well. So you just know it's going to keep going. I wonder, the next one's going to be, he's got another one coming. Those things don't stop, you know?
Yeah.
You know, people who are into that, they don't stop. I think flat earthers, I don't want that to stop either, because that's fun.
That is one of the best.
Yeah, that's one of the best. And also, like when you're yelling at them, it's almost like yelling at retarded kids.
Yeah.
That is not, does anyone, how come nobody's advocating for them?
Yeah.
It's like those guys are not smart. Why would you yell at them? That's like yelling at a guy with Down syndrome. It's mean.
It's super mean.
It's mean.
And their logic is always, they're like, I look out the window, I don't see a curve.
Yeah.
And you're like, and they're like, I've been on planes, I don't see curves.
Well, one guy's solution was, he was like, there's one solution to this. Because I looked into this once and I was dying laughing. There's one solution if we put a surveillance camera on the moon to watch the Earth. He was like, because they can't Photoshop it. They're going to slip up at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, they can't Photoshop it 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I just need to be able to see it 24 hours a day.
You do.
Yeah.
You do, Tim.
Yeah, Tim needs to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, for them, it makes them like James Bond now.
Totally.
Like,
there's also there's these videos on YouTube you can see of this too, and it's in one of the big docs about flat Earth. It has like the most prominent flat earther. And I'm not smart enough to know the experiment, but apparently there's experiments you can do that are pretty simple, right? Where you line up, I don't know, something over here, laser light or something, and they're like, if this hits this, you know, it would prove that the Earth is round, and that's not going to happen. And then they do it, and they're like, oh, hold on, let's change. Hold on, I don't know. This is kind of fucking me up right now. And then they get like, oh, and they're like, yeah, you just ran the experiment that proves that it's round. I know somebody who thought that he's a flat earther, and he thinks that. I go, what about like all the like the NASA footage? And his answer is like, yeah, that's all Photoshop. That's all. I go, all the images that ever are released from
How about the ones from before they had Photoshop?
Yeah, they're like,
those are all. No, they did that by hand. You're like, all right.
Okay. What are you getting out of this?
I just don't know what would be the point. Who's benefiting? Like, why would they lie about the shape of
I tried
the
to
Earth?
Buy flat Earth artwork, and it was all sold out.
It was sold out?
Yeah, like one of the prominent flat Earth artwork people. I was like, shit, sold out. So good.
It's just a shape. Like who's making money on that? What's the
But what do you
point?
get out of it being flat?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like if you're like, all right, it's flat. Now what?
I think if you did that, they would go, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that. Because then you take their fun.
Yeah.
You take their mission.
Is being combative. That's the fun of like every conspiracy theory. Is that somebody goes, no. And you're like, I have a secret.
Yeah.
I think this was actually exciting to conspiracy theorists, is that like, I have information. It's like the same as knowing a secret. I know the truth.
Yeah.
You're such a fool that you haven't looked in, and it's exciting. It's exciting, and I get why it's appealing. I can't help but look at the majority of them, even when they're my friends, as just so stupid. Just like extraordinarily stupid.
You mean accurately?
People.
Yeah, you can't look
you're
at
like, God, you're so fucking
It's hard for me not
dumb.
to see this accurately.
Yeah, I mean, like all these theories are so fucking stupid when you know, if you just, because what you do is you bring up one point that and they go, but ignore that. And you're like, well, no, that's the point.
Right.
The point is that you really think this was a made up moon landing in
Yeah.
69 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
what? You think everybody that worked on that was in a conspiracy together?
Right.
And they all kept their mouth shut?
Right. But you know what the funny thing is about flat Earth is that at least has a motive, right? So they say, oh, we wanted to beat the Russians and make it look like we were stronger. So there's at least a motive I can understand, although...
Of moon landing.
Yeah. But with the flat Earth, you're going, what's the motive?
What do we get out of this?
What do we get out of it?
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, who's...
I just know that they're lying to us.
Yeah.
Who is lying to you? The powers that be, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that. Like the whole world should just appease them and go, you're right, it's flat.
It's flat.
And watch them go, wait, don't do that.
Hold on. What are we going to do now?
Yeah, they're like, no, dude.
I
don't want to go back.
nothing else.
If you agree, then I'm just a guy who goes to Panera Bread now.
Yeah.
I don't have an exciting, I'm not James Bond anymore.
Right.
Because now, like that's who those guys are.
It makes them feel sexy. That's what it does.
It's real sexy.
It's
yeah.
sexy to know that, like, to know the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
And
sexy
nobody
to-
else does.
Yeah. You're like, what do you do? It's like, I work at, AT&T. That's not sexy. But you're like, what do you do? You're like, well, actually, I'm the vice president executive on the executive advisory board to the Flat Earth Society. Yeah. And let me tell you a few things.
And it's not just that,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Yeah. And then
We got a couple other things up our sleeve.
Yeah. And then, you get some kooky broad.
What are the other big ones? We got flat Earth, we got moon landing, we got 9/11 as an inside job. We got
9/11 has some weird things.
it has weird things
Some weird
for sure.
things, Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are big ones. JFK is a big one.
Epstein, that's the latest most sexy one.